Meanwhile, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's decision to turn down the invitation of the leaders of the Tribal Council to mark the first National Day for Truth and Reconciliation in Canada attracted intense ire and even criticism. In a bid to make amends, the Prime Minister paid a visit to the Indigenous community in Kamloops, British Columbia, the place where 215 unmarked graves of children were discovered back in May. Take a look at our next report.
215. That is the number of unmarked children's graves that were found at a residential school in Kamloops in May. And that was only the beginning. The discovery at the Kamloops kicked off a search, leading to the discovery of thousands more. 3,200 so far. The ground-penetrating radar searches did not just uncover unmarked graves, but also opened the wounds of the Indigenous communities across Canada, subjected to years of abuse and torture. A cycle of intergenerational trauma. This incident once again brought to fore Canada's bleak history of mistreatment of Indigenous communities. It sparked an urgency to make amends.
Canada has begun to face the reality of the truth of this country. That we allowed kids to be taken from their language and culture, neglected and abused.
30th September 2021 marked the first National Day for Truth and Reconciliation in Canada, proposed by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission as one of its over 90 calls to action, to honour the survivors of the residential school system, their families and their communities. And on the very first National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau managed to anger the Indigenous communities by turning down their invitation, and was later seen on a family vacation in Tofino.
In the middle of truth-telling, cultural grounding and sharing that unfolded as part of the commemoration of the very first National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, in this arbor, a journalist quietly informed us that the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was on vacation in Tofino. The shock, anger, and sorrow and disbelief was palpable in our community.
Following the intense backlash, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on Monday paid a visit to the Kamloops community in an effort to make amends.
I had the opportunity this morning to apologize to her and to the community in person for not having been here on September 30th. This morning we had an important and necessary conversation about how we, not just as Canadians, but as an entire country, move forward, given the reality of residential schools.
I would like him to admit that it was their instructions, the WIONs, the black robes, when they came and took the children away from their communities and families, that the instructions that he was given is to civilize us and to forget our language, culture, and traditions.
Despite his visit, the community and critics remain skeptical. It may just have been too little, too late. Bureau Report WION World is One.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.